So we're playing here in the Unbound Yoga Studio in Southern California, and I'm here again with Laurette DeJulian, who is my spiritual and meditation teacher. She's also that for a lot of teachers in the area. So we decided we had to make this video because we were talking about feeling stuck and how to get through feeling stuck. And Lauri, what was your answer to that?
To play.
To play.
To play make-believe.
To play make-believe.
You know, when we were little kids, what's great about little kids is that they know how to play make-believe.
Yeah,
They're all in. They don't say, well, let me see what my mom says first, or I don't want to look ridiculous.
Or what's reasonable.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Or what am I going to get out of this, right?
Yeah.
They say, okay. They immediately make a plan. They said, I'm going to go stand over here. And they start experimenting. They say, oh, I'm going to put this boa on. I'm going to stand over here. This is kind of cool. I'll try this out. They're willing to try things, and they're willing to play. Just be all in. But as adults, we lose that.
We do, because we take ourselves too seriously and we don't want to look bad.
We want to fit in.
And we want to fit in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there is a box that we need to learn to fit in. And we spend most of our childhood learning how to fit into the box. You know, learning how to behave in public, what good girls do and what, you know, good boys do.
Yeah.
And what is popular, what is successful, what is beautiful, what is politically correct.
Yes.
What is polite, what is nice, what is not nice. And all of that is just a thought. Really, that means nothing.
That means nothing.
Except that people collectively have accepted it.
And it limits us.
It certainly does. So, you know, think of all, I think it's Apple has that commercial, think of all the crazy ones. And if you look at the people that are there, you could say they are crazy.
Yeah.
But they've dared to come out of the conformist role. And so if you're a person that's stuck, the first thing I'm going to say to you is, when was the last time you daydreamed? When was the last time you let yourself pretend and daydream? And most people will say, are you kidding? You know, I don't have time to daydream. That's why you're stuck.
I remember you used to say that to me when I went through a stage of my job where I hated my job. And you said to me, well, the more you think about how much it sucks, the more you're recreating that. So just take moments during your day and daydream about what you would like to be doing.
Right. And so one thing I want to point out at this point is you're always creating. You are never not creating. And I think you and I, we talked about the spinner, you know, like a spider spinning a web.
Yeah.
You're always spinning.
Yeah.
And so people will say, oh, you know, Lauri, this is really great. I wanted to get this car and I was able to manifest this car and see, I created it. And I said, that's wonderful. So what did you do with the other 80% of your time? What were you creating then?
Yeah.
You know, and we call that miscreation, right? So that's why we are getting into this practice that's so popular now called mindfulness. And it's not a new practice, but most people are becoming aware of it. It's, what are you doing in the present moment? Because the present moment determines every other moment in your life, right?
Right. And so tell us a little bit more about this playing. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to daydream a little bit. Would you recommend that people write it down, that they have a friend that they just talk about? But what if there were no barriers and they could do anything they wanted, they could just start creating?
So the first thing I do is say, okay, let's take money off the plate. Because that's the first thing.
That's the first one, always, right?
Always is, I've got to earn a living. I've got to be responsible. I got to take care of my family. And so I said, okay, you've won the lottery. Here you are, $10 million. What are you going to do? What's the first thing you're going to do? And most people say, you know, pay off my bills.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but most people will say that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get all that obligation out of the way. That's great. Then I want them to get very specific. Okay, so it's day 2. What's the first thing you're going to do? And people are like, well, wait a minute. You know, you have to enroll them. Okay, so let's start writing. Let's start spinning this.
Yeah.
So are you going to go on a vacation? Where are you going to go on your vacation? Okay, so while you're on your vacation, what are you going to do? And then what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Well, I've always wanted to teach painting. I love to paint. I feel so connected when I'm painting. I feel I can help other people be connected when they're painting. Okay, so how will you go about that? How about a workshop? I go, okay, and how about if we did a workshop for free? Do you know anybody that you could
Invite.
Or do you know other people that have people that can invite? And where would you have it? What would the space look like? How long would it be? What day would it be on? And before you know it, we've created, and then I frequently turn to the person and say, okay, that's your first
step. So first step to getting unstuck is play, but first of all, take money off the table and then just start creating it. Like, what would you do? And then once you've got at the end of that, just do it.
The other thing I'm going to suggest that's so important in the beginning stages of daydreaming and living out your dreams and getting unstuck is to have somebody that you can dream with.
So important, right?
Somebody that is very supportive. Because there's a lot of people are you kidding, Candace? What do you mean? Are you going to leave your job? Oh my God! Oh, how are you going to do it?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Please don't do anything that's going to embarrass yourself, Candace. Are you nutty?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hormones, right?
Yeah.
It's hormones, and you really want somebody that's going to say, "Okay, I'm going to support you in that." You don't want to go to the hardware store for milk, right? You don't want to keep going to somebody that's not going to support you.
Right.
And I'm really going to encourage you that if you know people that are dream busters in your life, don't immediately go out and share it, because you already feel like you're taking a risk, and you don't need people to reinforce your fear.
Yep. Cool. Thanks, Lauri. And again, you can find her on LauretteDeJulian.com or Laurette DeJulian on Instagram.
Yay.
You have good Insta posts, I think. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you.